Hello everyone! I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War stream. Of course, no new content today. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing because, of course, we got the Vold event. So, Vold events, of course, great time to be farming pretty much anything within the entire game. We just covered a video before the stream going over a bunch of various farming teams, the gold farming one, the soul farming one, and of course the one that we're going to be mostly using today, the ultra quick kill one, where we basically just go to Center Mirage, lower it down to Explore 1, and just keep farming until we have all the gnomes. That is pretty much the game plan. So we retreat here, bring it down to 1. Wild Plains is 10% bonus or something this week, so can't do it there, but this place is perfectly fine. And then we just quick kill with this. And just keep doing that over and over again, and we'll be good to go. Of course, gnomes are based on basically just how many battles you do, so it doesn't matter the difficulty of the battle or anything like that. So generally you want to do the easiest possible battle and just get a lot of kills very quickly. Also, we got a pet active, though it is not one I need, as per usual. And we also got a task, because a lot of people will be farming gold this weekend as well as probably getting some from the gnomes. That's pretty much the game plan. There's a pity timer, which we can't see, because for whatever reason, whenever you have a pet, it does not show. I guess we'll clear out the pet real quick. We need pet food anyways. Let's clear it out. I'm still using bronze lock on this. I guess it's fine. Not too big a deal. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope all of you have been doing wonderful. Hello Isabel. Hello Scout. Hello Two Scope. Hello Easy Breezy. Hello Mehmet. Hello Sperm. And hello everyone else. Welcome. Yep, this weekend's going to be a good weekend to go farming. That is for sure. Also, I put it in the title, but just as another reminder, do not open your vault keys this weekend. The main reason why you probably want to wait, especially if you're a free-to-play player, if you bought the pass, it's not as important to wait. But if you did not get the pass this season, the Emperor is currently not in the vault key drop table. It should be in about a month from now. So by like mid-June, definitely by July, he will be in the drop table. However, at this current moment in time, he's not in the vault key drop table. So it is probably a good idea to save those vault keys so that you can go get the Leonis Empire Tower when you have the resources for it. The main thing that it requires is owning a copy of the Emperor, and if you're playing free-to-play, you won't be able to get it for the first time until about a month from now, and it'll be a completely random drop from the vault key drop table. So to have enough vault keys to actually get it, you likely want to be saving some, especially if you currently have 0 or very close to 0. So probably a good idea to hold all your vault keys if you are free-to-play. Just a reminder. Though I tend to hold quite a few anyways. Though we will open quite a bit at the end of this week. I think we'll open all the way down to 250. So at this current moment in time, actually, how many do we have? I need to keep track of my current number, because I haven't really started doing any farming yet. We've gotten a couple of gnomes, but I don't think we've hit a single vault key yet, so whatever number here should be accurate. So 266 is how many we're starting with. And I always like hoarding them until at least the end of the week, just so we know how many we got. It's a lot easier to track that way. Always make sure not to claim the pity keys as well. You can figure out how many pity keys you've gotten by simply checking what your pity timer's at. So like if it's at 20, or needing 20, you know that you've done it up to the 4 mark. So you kind of already know just by what number it is. Hello Paul, welcome. How do you like Leonis Tower? It's pretty underwhelming. It's still worth having though. The biggest thing holding it back is its lack of damage. However, it does everything else pretty well. It's really tanky. It has a nice amount of stun. It can be a good alternative for when you don't want to use Obsidious. Or if you don't even own Obsidious, it's a Obsidious alternative as well. But yeah, it's not horrible. Though it's not insanely good. Although it is the first mythic to have 16 mana cost. It is the lowest mana cost mythic in the game. But its lack of damage is the main thing holding it back. The main thing you would really use it for is the fact that it has Indestructible. There's currently only 8 troops that own it. The 6 Doom troops, which are pretty much never used. The Leonis Tower and Enraged Carandera are the only 8-player-owned troops that have that trait. And only 2 of them are usable, Enraged Carandera and Leonis Tower. And out of all 8 of them, Leonis Tower is probably the strongest. Unless you really need stun on your team, I don't feel like you would use Leonis Tower, though. Unless you really specifically need stun, is the only time you'd really bring it out. It's not horrible, though. It's also not really a must-have. Because even Obsidius still does it better, because obviously the 4 times instant stun is very valuable in some situations. Plus they both have 50% score reduction, so there's no difference in that anyways. It's mostly just that one trait difference. But the indestructible compared to being able to stun all at once. Hello, John! Welcome. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything you want me to chat about, let me know, because Vault weekends are pretty chill. Since it's pretty much just a bunch of casual farming over and over again. So very easy to check chat. Hello, Isabella! Welcome, welcome. We got Isabella and Isabella. I'll throw it down. Alright, what flash offer are they doing right now? Are they even doing one? I assume they are. Oh, they're doing one. Oh, we've never seen a tiered one before. How bad is this tiered offer? Why are they charging so much for pet gnomes? It doesn't even have a functioning thing. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that the text is broken? I'm willing to make a bet there's a forum post on it. Oh, now it's really broken. We made it even more broken. Oh no, I made it even more broken! Good job. Let's see, the number of brokenness. Oh, I fixed it! I fixed it! I have fixed the brokenness. What even? Wait, it does it for all of them. Hold up. I want to center all of them. Oh no, I can't center all of them. It moves the other ones. They can't even make a functioning shop screen. Sell overpriced things. Oh yeah, pretty much all of these are not. Actually, that one's worth it. But that one's way too overpriced. And this is basically like 6 vault keys, is how you could look at it. So that one's also kind of overpriced. But a normal one that they normally have isn't too bad though. But at times they've done 3 vault keys for $2 before. That's very rare though. But they have done it before. But it's still pretty much all overpriced. Definitely those 2. That one's maybe worth it, potentially. But we're going to farm way more than that, that's for sure. Anyways, let's go back to farming. Though I kind of want to go check the forum on that. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of forum posts making jokes about it. So what does pet bait do? Pet bait is currently very, very weak. All pet bait does is it triggers a pet, basically. It forces a pet to trigger. So the next battle that you do in PvP or any location where pet gnomes can normally drop will guarantee be a pet gnome the following time. This isn't really too useful because, especially during vault events, you basically just perpetually have a pet active. But even at other times, getting a pet active isn't really too ridiculously hard. It's also just a random pet. It's not even like a guarantee one that you don't have or anything. It's just a completely random pet. There's a lot of things that they could do with pet gnome baits to actually make it viable, as well as potentially adding it for free. There's currently no way to get it for free. It's actually kind of similar to those guildmate gifts in that there's basically no way to ever get those resources for free. I do wish there were alternatives to do so. Actually, theoretically, that's not 100% true. You actually can get guildmate gifts for free, if and only if you already bought VIP 6 up to that point. So technically, it's not free. But once you've spent that much on the game, there is an option to get them for free. But there's currently no way to get pet bait for free. And even if there was, it's not that worth it. It's way overpriced for what it is. At any point, you could buy one for 20 bucks while getting a bunch of other stuff, and that's way too expensive. And now they're selling a bunch for 10 bucks, which is also way too expensive. Honestly, even if it was $1, it doesn't even seem that worth it. Especially during this event, we're basically perpetually just gonna have a pet every hour anyways. For the most part. But yeah, there's 2 times when your guild tends to get a lot of pets. Mondays, because it's the event reset week, and potentially one of the tasks is also to go do PvP battles, and vault events. Vault events in an active guild, pretty much every hour you'll get a pet battle. Like as soon as the pet expires that we have right now, it'll probably be like 5 or 10 minutes before someone in my guild triggers a pet. Since obviously during a gnome event they are substantially higher as far as the rate at which they appear. So hello, Kurt. Hello, Michael. Welcome, welcome. Just watched a new video. Are you aware that Cedric with Egg Thief, Plunder, Peril? Yes, I am aware of the other version. I did not end up mentioning it, though. There's actually two teams I should have mentioned. The other gold farming team and the other gold farming team. The Zugoff team and the other gold farming team. I probably should have mentioned them in the video. But then it would have been 4 gold farming teams and 2 soul farming teams, and I wanted to be even. But, yeah, there are 2 other really good farming teams. The Peril gold farming team and with Egg Thief, and the Zugoff gold farming team on Explore 12, which obviously we do almost every day. Except this weekend, because this weekend we're just farming gnomes. We'll definitely mention them in the next gold farming specific video when we get around to that. Probably shouldn't have even mentioned either the other 2 gold farming ones, the slower ones, like Peril and Scouting Key. Mostly because I wanted them to be a little bit more gnome related, and they're not really that efficient while doing the gnome event. The Zugoff team could still be, and the other 3 were. But generally Peril and Scouting Key are a bit slow for these kind of events. Or really slow relative to this. Slow relative to instantly winning a battle. A gnome? Why does it feel like we're barely getting any gnomes? Anything good on you? Nah, diamonds. He did drop his higher amount of diamonds, though, if nothing else. So let me go check the forum. I want to see. How many people are talking about their awful shop? I didn't check it earlier today. I'm really curious to see what the discussion is on it. Also, why on earth is this page so broken? What on earth? Is Gems of War website down? Site cannot be reached. Is my connection down on my other computer? Can anyone else get to the Gems of War forum? Or is it literally down? Did people complain so much about the current offer that it crashed their website? Is Gems of War website down for anyone? It's not wanting to work on my other computer. But I've been having a lot of technical difficulties today, so it could just be me. Did I get the 3 new achievements yet? The 2 that are possible, yes. The other one's literally impossible until 2 weeks from now. And by 2 weeks from now, I mean 10 days. Or, you know, 2 Mondays from now. Wow, we're really getting a lot of diamonds from those. We hit 5 diamonds twice. His 5 diamond drop is his rare of the 2. Too bad we don't need diamonds. Or I don't need diamonds, I should say. Obviously, generally, diamonds are a good resource. However, I think we have enough to craft, like, 2 years of mythics or something. Something absurd. Okay, so the website is down then. Well, hello, Scouts. Hello, Dr. Shrimp. Welcome, welcome. How do you get the one for matching 100 Lycanthropy gems? It's impossible until Season 5 of Gems of War. Because during Season 5, it'll be implementing a Lycanthropy gem mechanic. However, until then, it's not possible to do so. We'll also be getting a troop that will immediately also have an ability to do so. It's not a particularly good one, though. Paul, I know, right? Hey, you want to charge like $25 for this thing, or technically $12.50. I'll sell it to you for $1. I'll sell it back to you. It's one of the reasons why they would never have a marketplace in this game. Because they would never be able to sell like any microtransaction ever. Because people would sell it for like 1 to 10% of whatever they're selling it for. Almost every resource in the game. Like Mythics would be like barely $5. Legends would be like slightly under $1 unless they were like really meta. But yeah, some games go really crazy with real-world trading. I know RuneScape and old school RuneScape was horrifically bad for it. Like horrifically bad. Is there any use for crafting a second Zugoff? No, there's no point in having a second Zugoff to save your power orbs for when another Doom Troop comes out. One nice thing about this place is even the Mythics die in one shot to this team. It actually has exact damage to kill. As you saw right there, 25 damage for 25 durability. There's not a single thing this won't kill. Actually, that's not true. Mech Gnome. Actually, a few of the gnomes, when they replace a legend or a mythic, can survive. But aside from that, there's nothing that will survive. Like, nothing in Cinder Mirage naturally survives. The only reason they would survive is because a gnome goes in a bad position over top a legend or mythic. That would be the only instance. It's because some of them have higher durability, obviously, than the troops in this kingdom. Since this kingdom is very low on durability. Another gnome. Hey, Volky! Oh yeah, I need to go bring up the numbers. We got a pity key, we got a vault key. I don't have my vault key numbers, so here's the vault key numbers from last time. We hit 17, 7, and 1. Let's go replace these. Let's see. This is when we were tracking something else. But that previous one I showed was what we did last weekend for it. 1 plus 1 plus 0. Oh, I forgot. I have to have no spaces, otherwise it goes off screen, doesn't it? I can't currently see if it's off screen or not, but I do recall it does go off screen. There we go. There we go. 1 plus 1 plus 0. That's how math works. 1 vault key, 1 pity key, 0 epic vault keys. I have confidence that we're going to find an epic vault key. That's why I put a 0 there. I do have confidence. But yeah, last time we hit 17, 7, 1 was what we hit last weekend. 17, 7, 1. We normally hit around 8 pity keys or so, give or take one. Good morning, Barbara. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Why isn't there an ad on it? Just wanted to fix the thing on the stream. How good the thumbnails work. I have no clue why, but this program for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been doing a lot of weird things lately. I need to find a new one. But in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been doing a weird thing where I have to like re-upload the thumbnail for the thumbnail to want to work. And it is very annoying, to say the least. Anyways. Otherwise, it keeps trying to put like a 200 pixel version of it up instead of like 1080p, which makes it ultra blurry. Yeah, the value of an epic vault key seems kind of weird, given that an epic vault key is basically just 3 vault keys. Of course, you are getting the gems with it too. That's still weird scaling. Also, if I'm not mistaken, if you take the value out of everything from the guild-related version of the pet baits, I believe theoretically, even though you're getting half as many pet baits, the overall gem value, I'm pretty sure, is higher on the other one. Because the gem value for the $10 pet baits is... Let's just ignore the pet bait for now. It's 800 gems for 20. And then if you compare it to the one that's in the guilds, so that's 800 gems for 20. This one is... let's see. Math. Let's just do the solid gems first. So 25 times 15 is... I'm going to calculate it just because I feel like I will do that incorrectly just early in the morning. That's pretty easy math, though. So we'll do that. That's 375 plus 8. Oh, yeah, it's already more. So just... That's so weird. So just counting the gems... and the guildmate gifts, you're getting 75 more gems already just with that. So basically, the difference is you get 75 more gems and 4 purple orbs instead of 1 pet baits. 75 gems and 4 purple orbs is definitely way better than 1 singular pet bait. Oh, also you get 60,000 gold. That's not really too relevant. But, yeah, the main difference between this offer and the other one, because you could just trade guildmate gifts with another person in your guild and, you know, basically break even. Or, you know, trade them in basically for 25 gems by trading them to someone else in your guild. So they're basically like 25 gems each, essentially, if you want to do it that way. Yeah, it's basically 75 gems and 4 orbs and 60,000 gold instead of additional pet gnome baits. So that theoretically means the option that's already in the guild, which is an okay option. It's not like super good value. It's also not super bad value. But this option is better value than the current offer they have as flash offer, which is pretty bad for a flash offer. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. This one's maybe worth it. But the bottom 2 are definitely horrible. I haven't gotten a flash offer since they've started doing flash offers. None of them have really been enticing to me. Mostly because they kind of just speed up the rate of accumulating things. None of them actually really give you anything new. Especially since a lot of the emoji packs are just repeating anyways from old, from the older seasons. Or, you know, back when they already did them, like for holidays. Hello, Daddy Shark! Welcome, welcome. They definitely overvalue what a pet bait is worth, that is for sure. Like, the actual gem value of a pet bait, I feel like, is about 100 gems or so. Well, when it comes to activating a pet, you basically get a small amount of jewels. You get at least one guaranteed copy of the pet, and you get some food for the pet. Each copy of a pet is worth anywhere from 50 to 100 gems. If you're mass buying them, they cost about a little under 100 each. And if you're getting them through things like the daily offers, if you like we were doing for that one puppy earlier, which I actually got maxed off stream. I forgot to do it on stream, but ended up maxing that earlier. I got a green major orb as well. I kind of forgot I would give an orb, and then I clicked the daily thing, and it's like, whoops, I claimed it, didn't I? But it was just a useless green orb. But, major green. But, where was I going with that? But yeah, a single copy of a pet is worth 50 to 100 gems. Of course, you get a few other loots from that from activating a pet. But that is the value of a single pet. The main issue why they probably think pet bait is worth so much is theoretically all 30 people in your guild are getting that. So even though you specifically might only be getting like 100 or 200 gem value from it, every single person in the entire guild also gets that value. So that's probably why they think a pet gnome is technically worth it. In the sense that it's like minimum 3,000 value across the guild in gem value. However, pets don't actually have a gem value. They have a gem cost value, but they don't actually have a gem value. The only time they might ever have a gem value, technically, theoretically, is if upgrading a pet is the difference between you getting and not getting an additional stat. However, that is very rare, because that means you'd have to be blocked at like 14 or 15 stars when you have the capability of reaching 20 stars or something similar. Very rarely is that the case. Because generally the only things that really have gem value are things that convert into mythics. Very few things outside of it technically have a gem value, because they're just giving you other passive stuff that are just like a small amount of stats or other things like that that don't inherently have a specific gem value attached to them. Or something like keys and the chance towards mythic has a specific value towards it that's easier to track. Whereas things like deeds and pets and stuff like that are really just based on the demand of if anyone wants to get it up, rather than specifically having a value associated to them. Oh, you were able to get a max pet today, nice. Yeah, we're starting to get so few that I need max that, I sure hope we would get some, but it feels like 80 to 90% of the time we just get a repeat. I think I only have like 20% of pets left to max. Actually, I never have looked at the exact number. Let's see, how many pets are there? There are currently... I have every pet in the game. I'm still not sure why it says 146 out of 148. But, that's the easiest way to do this. The problem is seasonal pets don't count. And it's hard to subtract all the seasonal pets from all the ones we're just trying to upgrade because there's so many of them. Let's see. What's the easiest way to even check this? I guess do it based on base rarity. Rarity, I mean. Oh, the problem is we have some cosmetic pets max too. We'd always do all the ones that are epic or above, because any of them that are lower than that are probably all, with a few exceptions, are probably all the things. So given that, let's just count all the ones that are epic or above. And that'd probably be the easiest way. Though some of these are holiday ones too. However, some of these are also pets that have stats, so it should even out. Okay, so if we count out all of them then, that comes out to 8. Or 1, 2, 3. 25? Okay, we only have about 25 pets not maxed. That would explain why we barely ever find it. Because that means, yeah, only about a quarter of pets. Not counting cosmetic pets. But we only have about a quarter of pets that can be found, not maxed currently then. Or somewhere's around there. Yeah, that wasn't too hard to figure out then. Let me grab this. Oh, did I forget to claim my rewards? Fail. Wait, was I still doing those and I forgot to finish it? Or did I finish it and forget to claim the rewards? I have no clue, but there they are. I have no clue. I probably got distracted at some point. Also, we found 7 gnomes so far. Let's keep going. Gotta find a billion more. Hello, Logic Slayer. Welcome. Gotta find 1.5 billion more. People who didn't buy current campaign will be blocked on Leonis Empire pets for a very long time. 3 pets are required to max power level. Only 2 are not cosmetic. Well, it's probably going to get another pet. Probably the next time it has a event. We didn't get one this time around, of course. But next time around, they'll probably add a pet. And that would probably fix the issue. But yeah, you would need 3 maxed pet once it starts getting really high. However, they are very likely to add another pet by then. There's a chance they don't, and then that will be problematic. But as long as they add a pet by the, or, you know, during the next Leonis Empire event, should be fine. Actually, I already have 3 maxed. Let's see, we have the cactus, which is City of Thieves. We have, oh yeah, that's a money pet, isn't it? That's a money pet. And then we have this guy. Yeah, true, 2 of them are monies. Well, this one's the Talk Like a Pirate 2020. This might be available in a couple months to max, though. Though I'm pretty sure it's going to get a 3rd pet by then. But Talk Like a Pirate Day, I believe, is in sometime in the summer. I can't remember. So if they bring this back, you can max it for like 2,000 gems. Obviously, that costs a lot of gems. However, it is indeed maxable. So if that's a high concern, I might want to do that. If you're a really endgame player, but also playing free-to-play. Just in case they don't add another Leonis Empire pet next time they have an Leonis event. Though I have a feeling they will. There's no guarantee, of course. They also said they're going to add some way to get these old pets back. Though I'm pretty sure you won't be able to get enough to get it max, so maxing the pirate guy wouldn't hurt. Plus the next Talk Like a Pirate Day one might also be for this location. Though more likely it'd be for the Pirate Kingdom. Where'd it go? You know exactly what kingdom I'm trying to think of that I can't. Blackhawk, obviously. Pretty sure most Talk Like a Pirate Day ones go there. I think it has like 1 or 2 already. And this is the most likely kingdom to ever get a Talk Like a Pirate Day pet. Anyways, let's see. Though they might bring the 2021 back for this year. Oh, where are we? Back to Cinemirage. Okay, September 19th, yeah. So it's pretty much right after summer then. I knew it was somewhere around there, I just had no clue what the date is. It's one of those weird things that's not technically a holiday. Well, every kingdom will technically get 3. And isn't that all you need? You need to own 4 pets from a kingdom, but 3 need to be level 20. Or is it 4 level 20s? I'm pretty sure you only need 3 level 20s. Was there a level that needed 4 20s? Because every kingdom will easily get 3. The faction, the kingdom itself, obviously, and the one specific troop from the kingdom normally gets a bonus. Or, you know, like one troop type from the kingdom. That tends to be how most kingdoms go. And then the rest generally are cosmetics. Or one of those color ones. Unless they find something else to do it for. Because we have a few off ones, like gaining slightly higher stats, or those small amount of masteries. They said they would potentially add more of those in the future. So you could potentially get another wave of gold, soul, and EXP pets at some point. Yeah, I know, but there's also other off pets, like I just mentioned. There's almost 15 of them, I believe, because there's 6, 1 per each color. There's 3 for stats, so that's 9 right there. I'm trying to think of what other ones that still have a bonus, but they're not one of the main bonuses. And they did mention in the past that they might re-release another set of them, because they deliberately made it a little bit lower so that they could do more in the future if they wanted to that way. Which they still haven't. I wish they would, because that'd be nice getting 10% gold, EXP, and soul bonus from pets. Or even more if they keep adding stuff like that. Currently, no pet has a repeat bonus, but there's something like that can be a repeat bonus. All 9 of them can. The 6 mastery-related ones, which are not really that good, as well as the 3 stat-related ones, which are really good. Since they're basically just permanent resource increases. Very small amount of permanent increase, but increase nonetheless. How do you get the faction pets? To get 1 copy of it, you have to get 2,000 renown in the faction. To get it maxed, you have to have everything done for the faction, max renown. 2,500 for the faction, which requires you to have the faction at least level 100 horde. Complete it up to 500. Do it deathless at 500, and do it pure faction at 500. The pure faction 500 being the main thing that normally blocks people. Mostly because for most kingdoms, you realistically need potions. Otherwise, it requires an exceedingly high amount of luck and or stats. Yeah, every cosmetic pet in the current state of the game has to be maxed with gems. To max a cosmetic pet costs of around 2,000 to 2,500 gems. And if you're really unlucky, it could cost almost 3,000, a little under 3,000. Basically, the cost to max a faction with potions is the same cost of maxing out a pet with gems, which is why people normally opt to do the factions instead, because you get more value overall that way. Theoretically, in the long term, it's actually better to do the cosmetic pets in a sense, but it's still better value just to do the factions, unless you intend to literally get every pet in the entire game maxed, which technically is not needed unless they ever raise above 30 star. Oh wait, why did I update the wrong number? Or is that the right number? No, that's the right number, because I do second number as pity key. Confused by my own numbers now. Yeah, the first number is always our number of Volkeys. Second number is pity key. Third number is epic Volkey. Also, once we get another Volkey from a gnome, I'll hand out the code. Specifically from a gnome. Also, we'll hand out an extra code on the stream when we get an epic Volkey. That won't count towards the 1 Volkey we hand out on stream. Only for the very first one, though. I can't say literally every single one, otherwise we might get like 5 epic Volkeys this weekend. But that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. We'll hand out one on next Volkey and another one on the first epic Volkey this weekend. Which hopefully will be at least one. We were getting pretty unlucky on a lot of the events. However, the most recent Vault event, we did pretty good on it. Got like 2 or 3 of them. So we're about to gain a level. Great time to be farming EXP as well. What we're using right now is also the quickest way to farm EXP in the game. Hero XP, that is, not class XP. The bigger number, not the smaller number. Still a goal to try to reach level 1,700 before the end of the year. We still got a solid 7 months left, so we should be able to make it, hopefully. That means in 1 month we have to be at least level 1,650, which we're pretty much there. By the end of this weekend, we're definitely going to be 1,640, that's for sure. Probably even a little higher than that. Oh, you don't have the Emperor Turret card thing that's required for the new card. Is there a way to get it? Yes. You can get the new Emperor in about a month. You want to save your vault keys that you get from this vault event for it, as well as any other vault keys you might have. Just don't spend them yet, and save them for about a month from now. I'll try to make a mention of it when it does happen, but approximately 1 month from now, or just wait till July if you want to really make sure it's in the drop table, or that, or ask around that time. But about 1 month from now, the Emperor will be in the drop table for vault keys, specifically vault keys. So it'll be under the same drop table as like Heart of Rage and Cedric and all that whenever you open vault keys. So you want to save until then in order to try to get it. And it could require quite a few vault keys, like 30 to 50, probably even closer to 50. And even that's not guaranteed that you'll get a copy of it. But yes, he will be available free to play in about a month from now. So it is advised to save every vault key you get this weekend, as well as every vault key leading up to that point. Until then. Because currently he is not in drop table, but will be in a month. And that'll be the first time free-to-play players can get him. And the Leonis Tower will stay in the Soulforge, so you'll be able to get it as soon as you get the Emperor. But can't get him for another month. Do you have the hidden Steam, the Android pets? Yes, I have the Steam and Android pets. Thanks to Isabel. Actually, Isabel donated both of them to the channel. And is greatly appreciated. She kind of knew I wouldn't get them otherwise. I do buy cosmetics for games, but generally not cosmetics that cost that much. That is greatly, greatly appreciated. As now we have every pet. Or at least every pet that's obtainable on PC Mobile. Theoretically, there's 2 hidden pets we don't own. I believe they're Xbox pets, if I'm not mistaken, the 2 pets I don't own. Actually, technically, there's over 3. Because there's an Xbox pet that's only on Xbox. There's an Xbox 4-year anniversary pet, or 5-year anniversary pet, I think it was. That's only on Xbox, as well as a 5-year anniversary pet that's only on PS4. Or, 4 or 5, the PlayStations. So I'm not sure why it shows I'm only missing 2 pets. Because those 2 pets are literally unobtainable. Whatever they are, they are literally unobtainable on PC Mobile. There's no way ever that they will be available. But it's weird because we're actually technically missing 3 pets, not 2. Since we're missing 2 variants of cupcakes that are just not on PC Mobile version. That were for the 5-year anniversary of the game. And we're missing the Xbox $50 pet, which obviously is impossible to get on PC Mobile. Because there's no cross-platform. Or I should say there's no cross-platform or cross-console. PC Mobile has cross-platform, of course. Which is how we have the Android pet on PC. Because I play this game like 99.9% on PC. The only time I ever play this game on mobile is if I am away. Like when I'm going to go away in like a month. I might ever so occasionally play it on mobile here and there. Especially at like the airport and stuff like that. It's just easier that way. And to take tribute. And that's literally it. Yeah, I've been saving quite a few of my vault keys. Initially, the reason to save vault keys was for the vault key buff. However, they finally did that vault key buff last summer. They brought in the pity key system, which was amazing. And they also brought in that 20% buff to all keys, just in general, which was also pretty nice. Or, you know, when you set at a higher difficulty, you get 20% more from it now. Which is basically always worth doing. This is basically just a solid 20% increase. It doesn't increase everything, though. Like, obviously, you can't get 20% more of a single orb and stuff like that. But quite a few of the other resources do increase from it. Like the keys, the gems, the diamonds, stuff like that. Oh, nice, Tyrion. Yes, the items from those sets were pretty cool. I haven't been playing Animal Crossing much the last couple months, though. I even stopped taking the dailies lately. Though I still need to go get the golden shovel. I think we're only a few Gullivers away. But yeah, I've stopped even checking it for dailies these days. It feels like they haven't really been updating much on year 2 of Animal Crossing. Like, they did a small revamp to some of the seasonal stuff. Like to the May Day event, as well as whatever the next event is. As well as probably the June wedding month, I believe, got like a little bit of a revamp. But most of them are really small changes. That don't really add too much replay value. It just adds like a few extra cosmetics to the game. What about collecting the Nook coins? I still need to be doing that. Actually, I should go collect it right now. I think the next collect gives me a framed photo. There's like 6 different items there. I think it requires you, if you want all items, which I do want to get all the items, I think it requires checking the app around 60 days. Actually, maybe it's closer to 50 days. Because you get like 10 per day. The 3 framed photos is a whole month because it's 300. And then the other ones, I think, come up to almost another 300. But yeah, Animal Crossing has always been one of those kind of games, though. It's always been what probably the biggest issue with the series is it has really it has a lot of value for like its first year, and then after the first year, it's basically the same thing over and over again. It's the only really big issue the Animal Crossing series as a whole has pretty much always had. It's pretty much a game you play for 1 year and then stop playing it, or not necessarily stop playing it, but you know, play it a lot less in the sense that you've done most of the content. And of course, now that's almost a live service, they could be doing more updates to kind of make it a little bit better in that regard. But they haven't really been. They've been focusing more on their phone app because all the microtransactions there, obviously, they could sell for money. Whereas in the actual game itself, the best they could do is DLC. Like those cards that they end up doing. But obviously, they have much of a financial incentive to focus more on the mobile game than on the actual mainline game. Since it's harder to monetize the mainline game without pissing off like literally everyone. Let's see. Is there any reason to upgrade the Dust Devil? No. This team game's absolutely no benefit from Dust Devil being upgraded. Not a single benefit. Greed could theoretically gain a benefit in the fact that he has higher HP. So him being meddled actually allows us to gain 100 gold in one cast. He actually would not gain 100 gold in one cast if he didn't have him meddled. He'd gain like 90 something, which is kind of like 100, but it's not 100. But no, the Dust Devil is gaining literally no benefit from being meddled. But oddly enough, Greed actually is. Up some Celestials, not like we need it. No, he's not gaining any damage. Just a bit of durability. Which, in this instance where we're killing in literally 5 seconds, doesn't do anything. There's quite a few troops they upgrade that don't technically gain a benefit. Like Leprechaun, Egg Thief, stuff like that, where they just gain like a small amount of durability. You never know, it might come into play eventually. They're low enough rarity that it's normally not too big a deal to upgrade them. The reason we're doing Cinemirage is Cinemirage and Wild Plains has the lowest durability in the game. And currently Wild Plains has 10% extra stats this week on a lot of the troops. So we're just doing a Cinemirage. Also, we could be doing the 3 Cedric or the 3 Ironhawk version in this kingdom as well. It's slightly quicker than this, but we gain slightly less gold. It also makes it so we can't insta-kill the Mythic and a couple of the Gnomes, so I just run with this version. Oh, we got an Orpheus. That's actually not too bad for Explore difficulty 1. Single Orpheus. That's actually the best drop you can get on Explore 1. Which is why that's not bad. I don't think you can even get an epic on it. So single Orpheus actually is the best loot we can get here. At least on Explorer 1 anyways. Is Blackhawk lower? I thought the Mythic has higher durability. Doesn't Kraken have quite a bit of durability? Megafor definitely doesn't. What's the other Mythic from Blackhawk? I can't recall. I could have sworn he would have slightly higher durability. But I know Megafor is really low. Because he has super high attack. Which, if I'm not mistaken, he might actually be one of the lowest durabilities of any Mythic. But isn't Sycorax the other one from that kingdom? I forget where Sycorax resides. Isn't it Blackhawk? Because I could have sworn that has pretty high durability. Up 2 diamonds. What's kind of funny is we've actually gotten more 5 diamond drops today than 2 diamond drops. Not like we need either of them. They still add up. I still hope for diamonds to eventually not be useless in endgame. It seems kind of weird that such a valuable resource would be useless. Maybe we'll eventually get a mythic that costs like 40,000 diamonds. Instead of any power orbs, we'll get a boss troop that's just like 40,000 diamonds. That would theoretically be cheaper than needing power orbs. But then again, it's about the same cost. 4,000 diamonds is worth about 6,000 to 8,000 gems. And a power orb is worth about 8,000 gems as well, so they're actually both about the same value. So theoretically, 40,000 diamonds for a boss troop is almost the same cost as 8 power orbs for a boss troop. Just in a different currency. But their equivalence gem value is nearly the same. Well, this isn't any slower, because we still one-shot everything prior. And there's 0 mythics in this location that will not die to Dust Devil. The highest durability one dies in exact 25 damage, which is Scourge, if I'm not mistaken. Because he dies in exactly 25. And whatever the other one is also dies, though I believe it's even lower durability than Scourge. Unless they randomly do a 1 HP buff to Scourge all of a sudden. I wouldn't be surprised if that's eventually a patch. I highly doubt they would do something like that, though. Just to troll this team. Yeah, if you want to use hero, Romain team I've actually found is almost the same team, same speed as using a hero version of this team. They're actually both very similar speed at that point. So most people, I think, just opt for Romain normally. Like, you know, hero class with a weapon into Romain, into Leprechaun, into Mirage Queen, the pretty standard quick kill Romain team. Good old Romain. That's normally the best way to go about class XP for quick kill. It's actually not the quickest way to gain class XP though. The quickest way to gain class XP is specifically to do one trophy casual PvP and repick into ones that you could one-shot. You have to make sure you have a really low PvP rating though. And it's also just really annoying because you have to constantly keep checking what the teams are and everything. It's normally just more chill to just do explore. Do a low-level explore with a Rowan. Because you have to be constantly thinking to do the PvP version. Though it is slightly better class XP rate. Though you win less battles. Though you also have pet gnome chance if you're looking for pet gnomes. Speaking of, do we not have a pet active? My guild has not reactivated a pet. Though in all fairness, we are doing nothing to contribute to doing such. Let's see. There we go. Let me go update our numbers. Also, as I mentioned, on the next Volky drop, we'll hand out a code. The actual Volky, not Pidik Volky. Yes, you can run Dust Devil, Hero, and Ironhawk. It does skip over one of your turns, but it's kind of like using Rowan team. But in a different way. It will only do 20 damage instead of 25 though. Is what we're doing right now, just 25. Which allows it to kill mythics. It also allows it to kill pretty much every gnome unless it replaces a mythic. Because I believe even legendary gnome it kills. If it replaces a legend with a gnome. Only if one of the tankier gnomes replaces a mythic does it not kill. Which is exceedingly rare. Because we're barely ever going to the mythic battle, and even if we do, the chance that the gnome specifically replaces the mythic is exceedingly unlikely. Wait, is Megaforce's durability really that low? Interesting. So you can run the triple Dust Devil, the triple Ironhawk team there then. That'd still be slower for that one other mythic as well as for gnomes. I feel like if it wasn't a gnome event, that would be worth it. The problem is during a gnome event, there's just so many gnomes that can get in the way. Because when a gnome replaces an epic, it actually has like 20-something durability. I believe if a soul gnome or a mech gnome replaces an epic, it has very low 20s. Like not 20, but like 21 or 22 or 23 or something. Which makes it not able to kill. But this is 25, so it does kill. This makes things a lot more easier. It makes things so much more straightforward. Because nothing will ever get in our way. Basically. So that's pretty much 100% consistency. Actually, the game might think we're a bot. It has so much consistency. I think we literally would do the same inputs every single time. Because the inputs never change. Yeah, Soul Gnome, I believe, has the highest durability of any gnome. He has like 20-something, low 20-somethings at Epic. And at Legend and Mythic, I believe he has enough durability that even 25 damage won't kill. I'm pretty sure 25 kills at Epic. But we won't kill at Legend or Mythic. Yeah, it's nice not needing Class XP anymore. We finally got it done about a year ago. Or was it 2 years ago? I'm losing track of time. The last year didn't exist. So I keep forgetting if it's 1 year ago or 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago. Regardless, we haven't needed it for a while. My sense of time is completely thrown off by last year. Useless gold? Well, gold isn't useless, but that amount of gold is. Nice, only 2 classes to go, both over 70. Yeah, it tends to be what you do at some point. Like, you'll get a couple hundreds, and you'll get almost all of them to 70. And then you start working them one at a time to 100 from 70. Because most of them gaining pretty much full value by 70 anyways. So it's a good idea after getting a few core 100s to then start working on all of them to 70. Since most of them are pretty much theoretically indirectly maxed by 70. And then you work on actually getting them all maxed to 100. And then once you did that, you never need to worry about it again until they add more hero classes. Which they will be doing probably late this year or early next year. Or whenever they finally do it. They've teased it like twice this year and have not given us any date whatsoever. It's definitely happening. But since they teased it early this year, that means it's probably another year from now. Given that they normally take almost 2 years to do stuff like that. But I have a feeling early next year will be like the earliest we get a new kingdom. I slightly doubt they will actually get a new kingdom out this year. But once they do, it'll start a chain of many new kingdoms most likely. What are the core classes? Oh, redeem code time. What are the core classes? Titan, Frost Mage, Thief. Yeah, those. But there's also several others. But Titan, Frost Mage, Thief covers pretty much all your grounds for the most part. And then like stuff like Sunspear. And a few others. But you mostly just want to have one good triple damage burning, which normally is Sunspear. Frost Mage just because it's freeze. Titan's just all around good, and normally your tank. And Thief because it's the best stealthy hero class. Alright, let's go hand out the code. I said I would hand one out on the next Valky. And that is the next Valky. Also, whenever we get the first epic Valky this weekend, we'll hand out another code. On top of our 1 code per stream. Whenever that happens. Hopefully we'll get one this weekend. We got pretty lucky last time. We got like 3 last time. 2 or 3. Well, let me get you guys the code. We do have codes again. We didn't for that one day, but we do have codes once more. I'm looking for the code section. Where's it? Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Their website is still down. Oh, no! Hold up. Scratch that. Their website's still down. Does anyone else able to get to the website? Wait. It's loading now. Oh, wait. Wait. I think it's working now. Hold up. Never mind. Website's not down. Here you guys go. But there you guys go. There's a redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com with the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers in there, starting with ZF. And give same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. I'm just gonna make sure I mark down that I use this one now, since we actually did end up using it. There we go. So does that mean the forum's working now too, if the redeem code section's also working? Let me go check. Because the website was down earlier. Thought it was just me, but apparently everyone did mention it was indeed down. And apparently it seems to be back up. Let me see. Yeah, it's back up. Okay. Forum was down for a short duration. It's back. Because I wanted to go check what people were saying about the thing. Additional lycanthropy hotfix. Let's see. Still causing issues. Oh, there's no post for the Vault event? That's funny. Someone bought the pet bait and didn't even give it the pet baits. It's that broken. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, someone got a 30 tribute. I actually have not gotten 30 plus yet. I think my high's been like 28, I think, or 29. No, I don't think I got 29 yet. There's like high 20s. I have yet to get a 30 plus. Anyways. Where were we? Let's go claim the redeem code. Same thing as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Only usable on PC mobile version of the game. There you guys go. We have 100 gems in the thingy. I saw that earlier. We have like 135 gems in an adventure board today. 100, 10, and 20. Oh, so that's 130, isn't it? I'm not sure why I thought that was 25 all of a sudden. But, yeah, it's 130 gems, not 135. Same difference. Anyways, let's keep going. Did I update my number? No, I did not. We go fix the number. And we're good to go. Okay, anyways. Where were we? Back to the grinds. You have no problem for the code, everyone. Enjoy. And as Two Scoops mentioned, definitely feel free to leave like on the stream. Helps out a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, let me know. We'll be around for a while. Probably go for another hour or two. And then continue where we left off tonight. As well as taking those gems off Adventure Board and all the other normal dailies. Also, we should have an orb to take off of off the World event as well. Do you think gold keys will become useful again? Gold keys. Gold keys. Not sure what you mean by gold keys. Hopefully we don't get in the same situation that we have in Cinemirage. Gold keys. I'm trying to think of what you mean by gold keys. Gems of War doesn't have gold keys, does it? Does it? Puzzle Quest 3 does. Not sure what key you mean by gold keys. Oh, gold keys as in the gold... Yeah, duh. I know what you mean. Those keys that you never use. When new kingdoms come into the game, they will likely become useful again. That was their main value in the past, and likely will be their main value in the future. Is when kingdoms start coming into the game, and you need to go get those commons. Even if they add an easier way of obtaining those commons, which I sure hope they do, they will still be needed if you want to obfuscate having to do whatever new system they add. However, if they don't add any kind of new systems to make the common easier to get, gold keys will 100% be needed, because it might be the only viable way to actually get the new common for a new kingdom. So I feel like they'll add some kind of other system to make it a little bit easier to get. But yeah, gold keys have been useless for like 3 years in Gems of War. Well, not useless, but their main purpose has not been fully realized, because their purpose before was for new kingdoms. And we have not had a new kingdom for a while. However, once we start having new kingdoms again, especially if they don't add a new system to get the troops, yeah, we're definitely going to need it, that's for sure. Because we will need tens of thousands of gold keys to max out the common. They do give a small amount of gems. About every 100 gold keys is about 1.5 gems. So that's like, what, 1 gem every 66 or so? Somewhere around there. The reason why it's 1.5 is every 100 is about a gem drop. However, the gem drop can be 1 or 2 gems. It's random which one it is. I believe it's evenly random, though. I'm not sure on that. Hello, Reese. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I don't think I've used a gold key for quite some time. I'm gonna throw in a little bit here or there just for the sake of it. Like if we need a little bit more gold for something and we didn't want to do some kind of other method. But aside from that, we kind of just been hoarding them. Some people have some really big hoards, like over 100,000. I think ours is like, what, 50, 60,000 or something? Somewhere around there. I mean, 307,000. Some people have over 1 million, I mean. We have 307,000. Yeah, some people do have over 1 million. You know how many gold keys that is? Gosh. Let's just say every 100 is 1 gem. I mean, you know how many gems that is, I meant to say. So if every 100 is 1 gem, doesn't that mean this is 3,080 gems? Or realistically, probably closer to 4,500 gems. That's how many gems worth of gold keys we have here. That's not even counting every other resource we'd be getting. Like the glory, which also has gem value. The gold, which we could literally use for more gold keys if we really wanted to. And the souls are kind of meh. But they're better than trait stone. Trait stones are literally useless these days. I hate that flashing thing so much. Also, at least this one doesn't flash. But it's still weird that it even has an exclamation point. Anyways. Back to the farm. Yeah, a lot of key systems, once you open the first several thousands, you tend to almost get like everything. It's applicable to almost every key. It makes catching up in the game quite a bit easier. Because you're getting everything simultaneously. Whereas sometimes when there's only like 1 new troop that you need, you still have to go and open that many. Like for example, the cost to get 1 new common, if they don't add some kind of way to target it specifically, is the same cost almost as maxing every common in the game. Because theoretically, every single time they add a new common to the game, if it is only available through gold keys, you would have to go and open enough gold keys to basically max every single common that exists in order to max out 1 common. That's how the game used to be. And hopefully it won't be exactly like that when the new kingdoms come in. However, that's why a lot of people have been hoarding gold keys. In case they don't do some kind of functionality that makes it easier. You basically have to max every common in the game in order to max 1 single new common. Every single time a new common gets added. Which means sometimes you wouldn't even open gold keys immediately for a specific kingdom. You'd wait like a couple kingdoms and then max them all simultaneously and do it that way. And that's when the commons are particularly good. Which is very rare, obviously, because they're common. Do I get annoyed against Rope Dart? It's definitely a weird option to fight. I don't really get annoyed from it. It's still meta. It's still definitely very much meta, but there's ways to work around it. Rope Dart teams are normally used with Skull Spam. So if you just focus their Skull Spam troops, a single Rope Dart that's AI controlled isn't really too threatening. Under player control, you could do a lot of stuff with a single Rope Dart on your team. But the AI, while it is not horrible with Rope Dart, is definitely worse than a player would play it. So once you kill out their skull spam, the rope dart doesn't really do much on its own on AI control. Because AI doesn't know to focus your casters first. It'll just choose something randomly, pretty much. And sometimes it'll choose correctly, but normally it won't. And you can kind of counter as well with stealthy, since it can't even choose those options. And if they're running rope dart with stealthy, I mean, if they're running rope dart with skull spam, the AI has no way to focus your stealthy troops because they can't target it with rope dart, and their skull spam's just going to hit your front, which makes it pretty easy to fight since AI can't really do anything to it. Also, you can use rope dart to counter rope dart, which is kind of funny. Wouldn't be the first time in this game where one of the better counters is to literally just use the thing against the thing. But stealthy rope dart is really good against a rope dart. Like Thief Hero class with rope dart. How do you recognize a treasure room in Delve? If it gives 800 or more gold, it's a treasure room. With the one exception being the one treasure room that gives 30 glory. That one is also a treasure room. But not counting the 30 glory one, the easiest way to tell if a room is a treasure room is does it have 800 plus gold. If it does, it's a treasure room. If it doesn't, it's not a treasure room. The only exception is the 30 glory room, which is indeed a treasure room. You can identify it because it's the one with the dwarven gate and all the gnomes. I mean, not all the gnomes, all the dwarves, I mean. But besides that one exception, every treasure room has 800 plus gold as a reward. So if I just go to a faction real quick, we can very quickly identify like every single room based on that. Like if we go to City of Thieves, even if you didn't know where the treasure rooms are, you can easily click them and be like, treasure room, because it's 1,000 gold. Not treasure room 300. Treasure room 1,000. Not treasure room 300. Treasure room 1,000. Not treasure room 400. Not a treasure room 400. And there we go. It's as easy as that. Except that one gnome room. I mean that one dwarf room. Besides that one exception, they're all just 800 plus gold. Normally you memorize where all the guarantee locations are in a faction though. Like the top one, the left one, and the bottom one are all treasure rooms for City of Thieves. The other ones can be treasure rooms, but those are only guarantee 3. His top left and bottom. Yep, no problem. Oh yeah, that's another way too. All treasure rooms give a positive effect instead of a negative effect. Though it takes a little harder to read than just a gold number. But you can also tell through the effect. So that requires a lot more clicks. But yes, every treasure room does give a positive effect instead of a negative effect. Because normally when you complete out a room in a delve, it'll give some kind of benefit to the enemy. But when you clear out a treasure room, it'll give a benefit to you. But the most useful two probably being the Cedric room, which gives a 100% gold bonus, which is technically 400% bonus, because it does it for all 4. Which is basically like having a full team of Cedrics, which is amazing for gold. And the other one is 20% agile, which is obviously used primarily for pure faction. Because that stacks with your 25% score reduction from potions, as well as any other score reduction you have. It also stacks with agile if your troops have agile. Multiplicitly though. It's 2 individual 20%, it's not a 40% dodge. Which is more like a 30-something% dodge chance. I haven't been seeing that many demon gnomes. Or Damon gnomes? Damon gnomes. I think that's like our third one. They've all been under 50. They do have a 50 and 100 drop. And pretty much all their drops are kind of useless since we have more shards than we're going to need. It's one of the reasons I don't run daily factions and haven't really been for a little over a year now. There's just not much of a need to. Some people have been still, though. Personally have not been. It's one of those kind of optional things once you have them all maxed. Kind of like doing daily arena that most people don't do. So doing a daily faction is definitely worth it prior to having every faction maxed. But once you have every faction maxed, it greatly reduces itself in value. Since all the rewards you get basically are nothing, except maybe some golden souls and some glory. But like the shards, you have more than you'll ever need. The legendary ingots, you have more than you ever need. By the fact we could craft 3 of those towers and it barely even dented our stack. And the mythic ingots, you also have way more than you'd ever need. Oh yeah, this team is the quickest team in the entire game. Well, actually, technically second quickest. The quickest is 3 Ironhawks with a Dust Devil. Though I normally run this just for slightly higher consistency. And because it gives us some free gold. Oh, only 200 glory from the glory now. But yeah, this is the second quickest team in the entire game. It's only a few seconds slower per hour than the quickest. But the quickest team can sometimes slow down if it doesn't get a kill. And this team's just more consistent in that regard. To a degree where they're both technically the same speed. Which just says higher consistency even though it's slower per battle by like half a millisecond. Like a few milliseconds. Or it depends how quickly you can cast Greed into casting Dust Devil. Because otherwise it's not that much slower. If you do it very quickly. Yeah, this is basically 6 wins per minute, same as the other one. It's very quick. An event key. Not the key we're looking for, but it is a key, nonetheless. Oh, a lot of gnomes all of a sudden. I think we found a herd of gnomes. Why have they not made a class for War Gear? They will be. We'll be getting a kingdom for it. There's still a couple we're missing. Elemental, Construct, War Gear. I feel like there's more. Those are the first 3 to come to mind. Are those the only 3? I feel like there's more than that. Not counting boss or tower. But, I feel like there might be more than that. It might be the only 3, though. Not counting tower or boss, which I'm pretty sure are never going to get a hero class. Oh, there's also technically not a gnome, gnome hero class. Though that would probably be associated to a gnome kingdom. If we ever get a vault kingdom. They have made mention that they might eventually add a vault kingdom. It won't be traditional to a similar normal kingdom. It'll have like some kind of different system. But they might eventually add the Vault Kingdom, as well as Apocalypse Kingdom. They might start adding a category of kingdoms that aren't technically normal kingdoms, that function a bit differently. Because they technically already exist within the game. But they just don't actually exist within the game. Like, they even have a banner and everything already programmed. They just don't physically have a kingdom location or anything like that. Nor access to that banner, since we can't unlock the kingdom yet. But you can even see their icons and everything in the thing. If we go to Apocalypse, it's all set up. Has its own icon and everything. And the Vault also has it. But yeah, they will eventually probably get their own kingdoms. Though they won't be considered traditional kingdoms, like all the other kingdoms are. They'd be kind of their own special thing that will probably have special properties compared to a normal kingdom. As far as like how you upgrade it and stuff like that, will be vastly different than how a normal one is. But hopefully we see that sometime next year. Not sure if they'll get to it this year. That's definitely something that will likely happen. A Vault Kingdom, Apocalypse Kingdom. Maybe even a Primal Kingdom, since that's a category too. And a Guardian Kingdom. There are 4 typings that do not currently have a kingdom, even though they're underneath the Kingdoms tabs thing. So that's 4 of them. Yes, that is true. They did mention they're doing something big with gnomes in 5.6. So that could theoretically mean 5.6 will add the Vault Kingdom. As well as a bunch of other functionalities and a new event. It better not replace normal Vault Event, though. Normal Vault Event's insanely good loot. Hopefully it won't get in the way of normal Vaults. But yes, they did mention that 5.6 is focused on gnomes. Which could mean we finally get the Vault Kingdom. And only the Vault Kingdom. The other ones will come at some point, probably. What do you think they might add? Another world? I don't think they will quite yet. It seems like they want to add more kingdoms before they add another area. They're just going to overcrowd the current map before they add another area. They definitely will add another area at some point. Almost guaranteed. But it seems like they probably will hold off for about a year or 2 before they do. Because it seems like they want to fix that current short-term issue with more kingdoms first. And then probably add another area. They are almost guaranteed getting another area. Especially since they actually have like the physical functionality to actually switch between them. If there's only 2 to switch between. You know, the main world and the underworld. Oh, they said they were going to put a bunch more on the main map. But that's just a short term of them adding more kingdoms. Because it definitely seems like we're going to have over 40 kingdoms at some point. Hopefully they can finish Puzzle Quest 3 already so they could focus more on Gems of War. These Puzzle Quest 3 still needs so much work, but I'm pretty sure they're putting a lot of time into it still. That could be going to Gems of War. And while they did say they have some teams doing one and the other, there's definitely quite a bit of overlap. Like, I'm pretty sure some of their coders have overlap. We know for sure Kafka and Salty have overlap. There's probably others. And obviously Surian has overlap on both. Probably Nimhane too. But I haven't heard Nimhane doing anything on Puzzle Quest 3. She might actually not do anything with Puzzle Quest 3 and only be Gems of War. But Surian's definitely both. The lead developer of Gems of War. And Puzzle Quest 3. Put it down. Yeah, I'm curious to see what games get announced soon for E3. It's only about a month away. Might need to plan out our, once I get back, I might need to plan out our gaming schedule for the next year. Because there's probably going to be a lot of big announcements soon. By, like, every company. Also, it seems like quite a few bigger companies are considering getting more into mobile-like games as well. Which we might start covering a couple of them. As long as their systems aren't completely horrible. It's always fun seeing what you can do in a free-to-play game without ever spending any money on it. Yes, Yellow Doom is next week. Specifically the color of yellow. So those teams we met with Rope Dart the other week can work, as well as whatever you normally use for Yellow Guild War Day can also work. Though you might need to upscale it some. Since something like Guild Wars you don't need to upscale, but something like, Oh, did my connection just die for a second? Oh no, come back. Okay, we went back. I was wondering why it was loading weirdly. My connection just died for like a few seconds. Both the stream and the game. Oh, luckily we came back. Anyways, what was I saying? But yes, Yellow Doom is next week. Yeah, Yellow has a lot of good options. You have Gargoltha, you have Rope... Well, you could use any color weapon. You do have Rope Dart. You have Divinish Ball Equivalent combo. You have a couple good empowers, like Harpy Mage. Well, that's not Empower. It's a second turn Empower. Same difference, though. On second turn, you get to cast her. Because whenever she has Enchant Potion, by the second turn, she has full mana. Because she basically has to start with 12 mana out of 14. And then the Enchant makes her go to 14 to 14. Between 75% mana start and 2 enchant per turn. Because a 2 enchant at the starting turn does give you it to you on turn 1. The very first turn. You think the gnomes are on their lunch break? Yeah, I know, right? We did good at first, though right now we're not doing too good on gnomes. Let's see, have I missed any, or are we just doing that bad currently? Nope, we're just doing that bad currently. Almost feel like taking a pet just to get it off the thing. Because then we can't see our pity-keys. Though we can kind of see when we check here. We got a third pity-key. Oh, let me go update the number. We got a 3-3. 6 vault keys so far. Ha! Take that, Flash offer. We already got more vault keys than you could possibly give us. We got 6. And $10 would only get you 5. We already beat it in like an hour and a half. Barely any farming at all, and we already got more than it. Yeah, that's the only really big issue with a lot of free-to-play games these days, though. Like, while some things might be grindable, it costs so much to mass buy some resources in some games. Do you think the front of the game's design could be a new mythic? Oh, you mean on the loading screen? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on RimWorld. I'm not sure exactly what trip you're referring to, though. But I'm pretty sure it's already visible on RimWorld. On that one resource website thing. Have we even gotten 5,000 souls or 1,000 glory a single time yet? I don't think we have this stream. Pretty unlucky on that. We're doing okay on Volkeys, though. Anything more than 1 Volkey per hour, I'm happy with. Even 1 Volkey per hour, I'm actually kind of happy with. Not counting pity. But ideally you want a little bit better rate than that. Come on, gnomes. Come out of hiding. How long has it been since the meta has changed? We haven't had a gigantic meta shift until metals came into the game, which was 1.5 years ago. That was the last super huge meta shift. Was when metals were brought into the game 1.5 years ago. Since then, we haven't really gotten anything super substantial. Though a good part of that was probably because of the pandemic the last year. But yes, metals were the last feature that really changed up the meta. We haven't really gotten anything since then that did a really drastic change. We've had small tweaks to it. Like that soul farming team I showed in that one video. It's technically a new meta for soul farming, but it's still so similar to the other premise. Like a few things have shifted slightly. But since metals have come out, we haven't really had anything too huge happen in that regard. The closest thing that we have that might do it are these new power gems. These power gems over time will probably add a lot of effects that could potentially shift the meta. The only problem is it seems like we're only getting a new one once every 11 weeks. So it's not going to shift the meta particularly quick. And also lycanthropy gems are going to be really annoying. More so than specifically changing the meta necessarily. But yeah, basically every 11 weeks now, we are very likely just get a new power gem. Not sure if that's going to be the case for every single season. But most, if not all seasons, will now get a new power gem. Every 11 weeks. And even though the effect on when that power gem will naturally fall is temporary and would come back occasionally here and there, the troops that have it are permanent. So any troops that spawn lycanthropy gems or some kind of uber gem or some kind of other gem in the future, those would be permanent effects. Whereas the ones that naturally fall into the board are temporary ones. Like for example, next season, lycanthropy will occasionally appear over purple. But that will probably only be mostly during next season. It would stop after the 10-week season period until they bring it back for some other thing. And only the troops that specifically have the lycanthropy effect would still maintain it. If they have the lycanthropy gem spawning thing. Which I believe about 8 troops are getting or so. I forget the exact count. I didn't do an exact head count. But I believe about 5 to 8 troops are coming in with a permanent lycanthropy effect as far as gem spawning it. Not the actual effect of applying it, but specifically spawning the gems that apply it. Actually, we still don't know what lycanthropy gem actually does. Though, obviously the logical guess is you take a lycanthropy gem and it will cast lycanthropy onto a random enemy. Is the most likely thing that it will do. However, that hasn't actually been confirmed. We won't actually know until the start of next season what exactly it does or what its rate is. Though its rate is probably around 1 in 30, based on what we've said in the past. As in the 30 purple gems on the board will become a lycanthropy instead. Yeah, I wish they would have chose a different gem to start it with, though. Lycanthropy gem is going to be notoriously hated by, like, everyone, which might make people just hate the concept of these power gems, which is a little bit bad, because something like the Uber Doom Skull is actually pretty cool. But something like the Lycanthropy gem is probably going to be one of the worst gems in the entire game. Not in the fact that it's actually bad, but just in how annoying it's going to be. It'd be like if they added a Death Mark gem. Is basically what it is, but in an even more annoying way. So what is with the loading today? Is it my connection or is this the game? Or a combination of both? Because my stream didn't go down that time. Yeah, your rank in PvP does affect casual PvP opponents as well. Death Mark gem. Based on what they said earlier, sounds like they're going to add some of the gems from Puzzle Quest 3. That'll be cool to see if they do. Like, one of the ones that they mentioned was a gem that will spawn other gems. Or even a gem that could be like a wild card thing. There's currently 5 of them that they have in Puzzle Quest 3, and I feel like they might bring the mechanics to Gems of War. Because they're essentially the same thing. They're a power gem. One of them, basically what it does is it creates a bigger version of the gem onto the board. So basically it creates a gem that then creates another gem of that color that then has a higher multiplier for how much it gains. As far as kind of like a wild card, except it's a multiplier only for the one gem that it spawns. The wild cards, of course, were... I don't think they're actually going to implement that into Gems of War. It's something from Puzzle Quest 1 and 2. But basically, whenever you have it on the board, any colors that you match against it will get multiplied by that much. So if we did like a 3 match and then had the wild card there, it'd basically do the 3 times the 4. So it'd basically do 12. Plus you could connect any color to it. But other ones that they had from Puzzle Quest 3 is when you take one of them, you basically gain skulls onto the board, which is interesting. The other one being gaining barrier, which I don't think you could really do on this. It would like destroy a column and gain barrier, which maybe the barrier part they could do. Destroy a column might be a little strong, because column destroy is a lot stronger in this game than it is in the other game, because the other game has less rows, whereas this is an even 8x8 board. Any other effects I don't think they could really bring over. But there's definitely a lot of weird things that they could do with them, that's for sure. I just feel like Lycanthropy is one of the worst ones they could have started with. Hello, Stardust. Welcome. Yeah, there's quite a few mechanics in Puzzle Quests that were pretty good. They had some really fun mini games for crafting. They had basically like tower fights that are kind of like towers in Gems of War, but more boss-like. They had customizable gear that they kind of did for Puzzle Quest 3 in a sense. They had the wild cards on the board, which I was mentioning earlier, which not only give you a multiplier to all the gems you connect to it, but also would count as any gem. But that might be a little bit stronger Gems of War, because there's only 4 colors in Puzzle Quest 1 and 5 in Puzzle Quest 2, whereas Gems of War, of course, has 6 colors, which makes the dynamic a little bit different. They also had different stats effects that still don't even exist in Gems of War, which are kind of odd. Like the ability to drain mana every single turn was a pretty cool one. That's actually what Disease used to do in Puzzle Quest series. Is it would drain your mana every single turn. It's basically like Enchant, but inverse. And there's not an equivalent to that in Gems of War. Obviously, Enchant is the positive version of it, where you gain mana every turn. But there's not a version of it that does the inverse in Gems of War, where you lose like 2 mana every single turn. Which would be a really cool mechanic. It wouldn't even be that overpowered. It would be very strong, though. It would be strong, but it wouldn't be overpowered. Because, of course, if things with immune to mana drain would have immune to it, plus you could just cleanse it off. Also, if you take an extra turn off the board, you would just have full mana anyways. Like, if we're drained 2 red mana, and then we take that, boom, we just have full red mana. Also, Orpheus would still be able to get it off in Natural Cleanse. How many keys farmed so far? 3 Vault keys, 3 Pity keys. 0 epics. The epics have 0 chance. Not exactly, but it's very low. The actual chance is about 1 in 10 every time you get a Vault key, not counting Pity. So far, we've only had technically 3 chances then. But every time you get the normal Vault key drop, there's about a 10% chance you would get a epic Vault key instead. Which means if you're getting unlucky, you could need to get anywhere from like 15 to 25 Vault keys just to get a single epic Vault key. Not counting Pity. Though, of course, if you get lucky, you can get it earlier than that. Though epic Vault key isn't that much more value. An epic Vault key is basically like 3 Vault keys, all in one single drop. Plan to farm overnight. We're definitely going to be getting a decent amount of farm in. Not sure how much longer we'll go for this stream, because I haven't had anything to eat yet today. But of course we'll continue to grind tonight, as well as every night this weekend. I feel like on average I normally put about 10 to 12 hours into the Vault event. Normally. Not necessarily all on stream. But I'm pretty sure that's about our average. It's always epic when you get an epic Vault key, true. It is very exciting to see an epic Vault key. Even this late in the game, it's still exciting to see an epic Vault key. Honestly, even just normal Vault keys are still exciting. They're not as exciting. It's still exciting. Now, of course, the main thing is what's actually in the Vault keys. That makes them good. Obviously, if it gives you like a green orb, it's not too good. If it gives you like a major blue or a power or something else, it's pretty decent. Also, just a reminder still, a good idea to keep all your Vault keys if you don't have a surplus, especially if you're playing free-to-play, to try to get the Emperor. Emperor will be in the drop table in about a month. He's currently not in the drop table, but if you're playing free-to-play, that's the only way you're going to get him is from Vault keys, so you probably want to hoard your Vault keys right now and not use them. Good idea to save. Of course, we already have quite a surplus. We're going to use down to 250 this weekend. I think we started with 266. By the end of this weekend, we'll probably have a little over 280. You got a power the other day? Nice. Yeah, I've gotten it twice so far. They did it in an update last December. So it's been available for about 5 months now. But the last 5 months, there is, as well as permanently, hereforth, there's a 1% chance every major orb that you get a power orb. It's a very low chance, but it does happen. We're definitely way above drop rate right now, though. Realistically, you're going to get about 1 per year. We've gotten 2, and it's only been 5 months. So we're on the lucky side, luckily, in that regard. One of the few resources we're lucky on. Luckily, it's one of the more important ones. Yes, I do advise saving it for Zugov. It's really important to save for Zugov as soon as you can. It's among one of the better troops in the game. It's used for quite a bit of farming, primarily for factions as well as for Explore 12. The best Explore 12 team in the game basically requires them. When is Ironhawk and Soulforge? We don't currently know. However, we should be on a next new cycle next week. So he theoretically could be next week, though no official dates. But the cycle does reset next week, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he should be right around the corner. At least within the next couple months, anyways. Which in Gems of War time is around the corner. But yeah, theoretically he could be next week, though unlikely, though technically possible. Yeah, so you need 8 power orbs to make a Zugov. It takes about 1 year to get 8 power orbs, and normally requires you converting a lot of your blue orbs that you save into power orbs, as well as the other orbs as well. But blue's normally the main thing holding you back, because greens you tend to have way more than enough of, and oranges generally don't hold you back. Though if you use a lot of them in the early game, they could potentially hold you back a little. But using a power orb to actually upgrade something is super horrifically bad value. You always want to save them for Zugov, the natural ones that you get. We also normally want to save quite a few of your blues and other orbs for also making power orbs for the eventual Zugov. Yes, it's about double the speed as Rowain team. Rowain team can do about 3 to 4 wins per minute. This is 6 wins per minute. But yeah, Rowain at its best does ever so slightly more than 4 wins per minute. Whereas this can do ever slightly more than 6 wins per minute, so definitely quite a bit quicker. Is it possible to farm with only one Ironhawk? Yes. Dust Devil, Hero, Ironhawk. You'd also gain class XP that way for any hero of your choosing. It's about the same as doing Rowain build though at that point. So most people just opt to do Rowain because it's only about 4 wins per minute, which is about what Rowain would already be doing. But the main benefit of it is, well, one, you only need one Ironhawk. But the second benefit is you gain class XP, whereas all other versions of Ironhawk, if a team cannot fit a hero in it, there's just not enough room. Like, there's no way to put hero on this team. But a one variant can. Oh, another Valky, nice. I was wondering where they're all hiding. Well, 4 Valkys, 2 hours. Not bad. 2 Valkys per hour. Decent amount. Not super high, but it's good. Not like some hours where we've seen like 5 or 6 Valkys an hour. Those are super rare to see that many. Anything above 1 I'm happy with. Getting 2 per hour is pretty solid. Not counting pity. If I count pity, that's basically 3 per hour there. But of course, pity gives a lot front-loaded. Like, it gives a good majority of them in the first few hours. And that's mostly to make it so people don't feel left out of the Vault event. Like if someone only has like 5 hours to farm over the course of the entire weekend, they still gain a decent amount of loot because of pity. Also make sure people don't get literally 0. There has literally been a Vault event where we got 0 before. I think it only happened once, so maybe it was twice. But there was one weekend where we farmed for like 15-20 hours or something, and still left the weekend with 0 Valkys. Felt very disappointing. How do you get the Emperor card? The Emperor card is obtained through completing out the pass and spending at least 10 hours this week. However, if you're playing 100% free to play, he will not be available until 1 month from now in the Valky drop table. So it is advised to save, if you're free to play, to save every Valky you get from here until about a month from now. And then open all your Valkys after that point when it's confirmed that he is in drop table. And then you can end up getting Emperor. However, it's a month away from now. So basically by late June, early July, you should be in the drop table. But yeah, the Emperor itself is pretty useless, but of course it's used to get the Emperor Tower. Or the, not the Emperor Tower, the Leonis Tower, I mean. It doesn't consume the Emperor crafting it, but it is required to own a copy of it to craft it. But it won't be available to free-to-play players until a month from now. Specifically only in vault keys. So make sure to hoard them if you haven't already. I always keep a reserve of them just in case for stuff like that. Even though we already have a copy of it. Which is from the money pass, of course. Oh, you just started a few months ago. Nice. Yeah, I'd still save the vault keys then. Exemplar is a pretty nice one to have for the tower. The tower could be pretty good for an early game stunning option as well as mid game. It's not a must have though. And you do get better stunners way later in the game as well. Like, I'm pretty sure I personally won't be using tower that much. Oh, it's cool that players can finally own a tower. It's actually the first player-owned tower troop in the game. I was like, hello, Jason. Welcome, welcome. It was Emperor. It's that 1/6 mana cost blue troop from the season pass. It's not available for another month free to play though. How many do you need? You just need one copy of it. However, the other two resources is you need 250 legendary ingots and 50,000 souls. And you can craft the tower. The tower actually has the lowest mana cost of any mythic currently in the game at only 16. Its damage is pretty low, but it's very durable. It's also one of the best stunners that isn't Obsidious. And even though it's a mythic, it requires a lot less resources to get than a normal mythic. If I'm not mistaken, it actually doesn't require any diamonds at all. Making it the only Soulforge mythic ever to not require diamonds. Also, gosh, we almost have half the level already. That went really quick. How good is that new mythic from the event keys? There isn't a new mythic in event keys. There are some mythics in event keys, but it's not specifically in event keys. Unless you're referring to last week's mythic, which was in Glory Gym Guild and VIP chest. But that one's not in the drop table anymore. Well, it is, but now all the mythics are in drop table now. It's not the exclusive one anymore. But as far as event keys right now, it's still a Leonis Empire event. So the two mythics that are in event keys right now are that one with Cleanse, the Voice of Orpheus, and what was the other one? Wasn't it something useless? It's useless enough that I forget what it was. Was it Vespero? I actually completely forget now. Leonis Empire. Where is it? Yeah, this week has Deo's not a drop table yet. Oh yeah, it was just Flame of Anu and Orpheus. I mean, yeah, Voice of Orpheus, wherever it is. There it is. But yeah, they're both really bad mythics. Technically all three are, but Deo's not in drop table yet. It won't be till the next one. Also, Leonis Tower also isn't. They're both Soulforge only. Well, this one isn't Soulforge only. This one's Soulforge only. This one currently is, but, or currently is only available through the Season Pass, but he'll be available in about a month as well through normal keys. Also, the next Leonis Empire event, he will be available in event key drop table. However, that one never will be, because it's Soulforge only. And same as this will only be available in Vault keys, specifically after a month from now. But yeah, Voice of Orpheus and Anu, Flame of Anu are both really bad. They're used for pretty much nothing. Well, Archduke can still be usable. It's not as good as like an Iron Gut or stuff like that, but it can still be used similar to an Iron Gut in Delves, where you use it as an instant kill option. It is a bit slower, but it can be used for killing in Delves and other similar locations where you need to upskill. Oh yeah, the Deo. Deo is not currently an event key drop table. Whenever a campaign mythic comes into the game, they are not available for the current event that they come out on. So like every last week of every single season, this is generally the same event as the mythic that comes in through the season pass. However, that mythic is not in the event key drop table whenever it comes in. So like right now, Deo is not in event keys. He will be in the drop table for Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests and everything like that in about a month or so from now. However, realistically, the next way you'd be able to get him is the Leonis Empire event after this current Leonis Empire event, which could be months from now, or when he rotates into Soulforge, which could also be a while because I don't think he gets into this next cycle, which just reset. So it could be several months until he is. Luckily, he's a pretty bad mythic, so it doesn't really matter too much. Every mythic from that kingdom is awful. Yes, the drop table right now for Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests are not the Archduke only. Now all of them are in the drop table, not just Archduke. That reset at the same time that Vault event started. So yeah, now Archduke is a lot harder to obtain. And anyone who did obtain him, it's not necessarily a bad thing. He's pretty good for Blighted Lands upgrade. It's good to have one of those mythics out of the way because Amnesia is already pretty bad as well, so having him is not necessarily awful because you get a magic bonus permanently from the kingdom once you get it to 5-star, 10-star, and 20-star. 10-star and 20-star of which he helps you quite a bit with, since 10-star requires a mythic. And 20-star technically also requires a mythic in the sense that you needed it for 10-star. Put that down. So where are all the gnomes at? So we've been doing okay overall. I feel like our gnome drops have been awful, but our vault key rate has actually been pretty much on par, which is a weird combination. Because I don't think we've even hit a single 1,000 glory or even a 5,000 soul. Yet we've hit a really decent amount of 2 vault keys per hour, which is a really weird combination to have. Where the vault keys are doing good, but the other loot are doing bad. Normally it's the other way around. Or it feels like we're actually hitting the 1,000 glories and the other good bonuses. But we're hitting like 0 vault keys pretty much. I'm not sure which one's actually better. Because 1,000 glory drops are pretty nice. But 500 or 200 is not awful. Because the 1,000 glory drop compared to the 200 and the 5,000 soul drop compared to the 1,000 are both 5 times higher. So quite a bit more value whenever they do drop compared to the lower one. Some gems. I think that's our first gem drop, oddly enough. He drops either 5 gems or 20 gems. That's a lower one, but still gems nonetheless. For a second, I thought it wasn't going to die. I was like, wait a second, everything should die. It's just the initial damage that didn't kill it. Because initially it does 20 damage, and then it does the 5 AoE off of Dust Devil. Which actually makes this go slightly quicker if we end up killing without any Dust Devil damage. Which is one of the actual small benefits of this team. Because whenever Dust Devil does its ability, it cycles its damage through every single one of the enemies, and that takes slightly longer. However, when you kill it with the insta-kill thing off the trait, it's ever so slightly quicker. Because Dust Devil never has to take the time to actually hit them. This is one of the small benefits that this team has compared to the other one. Because the other one does 15 damage and then there's the 5 Dust Devil pokes. Whereas this thing normally does not need to actually cast a Dust Devil poke. Or, you know, it casts it, but you don't actually land the delay of the cast. If that makes any sense. Like, you're still casting it, but it's not adding the extra delay of it having to hit through every single one of the enemies. Which normally adds like half a second. Which means a lot when the battle takes like 5 seconds. So we're still wasting time in having to cast in Greed. Because otherwise that first cast would literally be the killing option when you run with Dust Devil with triple Ironhawk. Overall, this team is still slightly slower. But it's such a minuscule difference. Especially relative to the fact that we get a little bit of gold for free. And it doesn't ever get to slow down, which is nice. Since there's never a single battle it won't kill. Once again, still no 5,000 souls. It just does not want to drop the tier 3 drops. On those 3 drop things. Oh, only a Yasmin. Ideally we want to see Orpheus, that's the best drop we can get from it. That's not too big a deal. We're obviously not here for medals. Not today, we're here for gnomes. Gnomes, a little bit of gold, and a lot of hero XP. We've gained pretty much one whole level today. Well, obviously we already gained a level, but you know, I mean like a whole XP worth of level. Almost 2 levels though. How many keys do you need? For what? Generally you just farm keys for the sake of having more keys. There's not like a specific number of vault keys we need. The number we need is more than how many we have now. There's no specific number we specifically need. Though if you're looking to get Emperor for free to play, I would advise having about 50 vault keys. Though it is possible to get it with less. Though it is also possible that 50 doesn't get it. Most vault events I only farm about 20 vault keys. But there's still a month up until when Emperor comes out for free to play. Is there a maximum hero level? Yes and no. Yes, it goes to 10,000. No, it is literally impossible to reach it. The highest level player in the entire game would have to farm for about 40 to 50 more years to reach level 10,000. It was never made with the intention of actually being able to reach it. Realistically, max level is considered 2,000. That's not actually what max level is, but that's when you stop getting stats for leveling up hero. Because from 1,000 to 2,000 you gain extra stat every 100. But then after 2,000 it stops. So realistically 2,000 is max level. However, theoretically it keeps going forever. But a cap that's literally impossible to reach. But 2,000 is generally considered max level. Not because it is max level, but that's when you basically maxed out your stats for hero. Which is essentially max level then. Everything from there is basically just a visual increase. Since the only thing you're getting is mastery, which is like a 0.0001% higher chance of surging this late in the game. To a point where it's basically doing nothing. But basically all levels beyond 2,000 is just a cosmetic visual thing. Essentially. Yeah, getting to 1,000 is generally one of the really big milestones earlier in the game. Once you're progressing through. 1,000 actually used to be max level, but then they raised it by a lot. because you have a good majority of hero stats by then. You started in March, you're level 1044, nice. Yeah, some people go for the grind very quickly. Some people play the game a little bit slower, just kind of checking in on it here and there. And then some people grind it like crazy. There's been some people, I think, in like 2 weeks who've hit like level 1000. I think the average is normally about 2 to 3 months. Although it can take longer, of course. Some people like doing it over the course of a year. But yeah, some people like really ultra power grind it. It's pretty good progress for 3 days, though. Early game tends to be a little bit slow until you get things rolling, because you're mostly missing like every troop in the game as well, stuff like that. Main thing I would advise is just focus on getting the Kingdom quest lines done, so you can get all the hero classes as well. And then start leveling Titan hero class is a good idea. You get it from Stormheim. It's the best all-around hero class. Barrier on Brown is so insanely good. A couple hero classes have it, but Titan's just really good all-around. I almost hit level 1000 in a couple weeks as well. However, I did have the ring bonus. We had both Death Knight armor and the ring bonus. Because when we started our Switch account, we spent $70 on it when it launched to get Death Knight armor and the ring. But it's definitely possible, especially if you spend a little bit of money up front. Though even without money, it's probably possible to do it in a month. Because of course Death Knight gives 100% XP and Ring gives 50% for a month, which makes it possible to do within a month. Though they're not required to do it within a month, though they do save you a lot of time, obviously. The only reason we did it was mostly because we were doing it for fun, and we're streaming a bunch of it. I don't think it's really worth it for most people, newer players, to do it. Death Knight armor, maybe, but Ring of Wonder seems pretty bad value almost always, unless you really want to farm in a given month. It's just really pricey. Like, you can buy the whole season pass for twice if you buy this $10 season pass. Like, you can buy almost like half a year's of season pass for the cost of a single month of Ring of Wonder. It's pretty overpriced for what it is. Catch you later, Reese. Good luck with the grinds. Definitely a good time to do so. Highly advised to, that's for sure. Vault events are insanely good for resources. And while they only happen about once every 6 weeks, they are definitely highly advised to farm for their duration, since you can farm so much more during their duration than at any other time. Also, I believe they appear in quest lines too, so if you're clearing out quest lines, you can still find them in quest lines, you can find them in challenges, find them in PvP, you can find them in arena. It just normally explores the quicker location. Though if you still have quest lines to do, quest lines do give you gnome drops. Which is you can only ever do the quest lines once, so obviously we don't farm there because you can't once you've completed them. How are people acquiring the Leonis Tower? It requires the Emperor, which you get from the Season Pass. If you're a free-to-play player, it's not available for about another month. But if you have the Emperor, it's just in Soulforge. They added it on Tuesday. I didn't even realize it until Wednesday, until someone brought it up, because it didn't mention it in the initial patch notes. It was in some kind of other post. But yeah, I got added on Tuesday with the patch. But if you're playing free-to-play, you won't be able to get it for about another month, because you'll want to save all your Vault Keys for Emperor then, and get all for Vault Keys. But he's not currently in the Vault Key drop table. But otherwise, it costs $10 in completion of the Season Pass. Or at least up to 900 anyways. But free-to-play, it's available in a month via Vault Keys. So it's a good idea to save a lot of them from this season. I mean, from this weekend then. As well as any leading up to it. Because you could take upwards of 50 Vault Keys if you got unlucky. Well, if you got lucky, you could take less than that, of course. But if it's anything like the Hearts drop rate, it was pretty low. seemed like it was dropping at about 1 in 20, 1 in 30, probably close to 1 in 30. Because so far I only have 4 copies of Heart. One of them was from the Season Pass. And that's been out for like, what, 6 months now, 7 months? We've only gotten 3 copies of it. Since then, I think we've gotten like 20 Cedrics, though. At least a dozen. Cedric's definitely still much higher drop rate than the Season Pass Vault troops. And the problem is a lot of those Season Pass Vault troops are now fighting each other for the same drop table as well, making them technically harder to get each specific one. And the most useful one's definitely Emperor once he comes around. Since the Leonis Tower is actually not that bad. I don't feel like I'll use it much because once you get Owen Obsidius is kind of better. But there are still instances where you might use Leonis Tower, especially if you're up against AI. Obviously up against a player would probably be a little bit of a bad idea because if they're using a tower slaying troop, they basically one-shot it automatically. If you're against AI, where they can't have that kind of option, it'd be a bit better. And one thing that does make tower a little bit weaker is every explorer has a invasion troop, as well as the raid troop. So there's always a hard counter to it in every explorer, which makes it a little bit less viable to really run for that. You could always stun their trait if nothing else, but you can't stun their ability damage multiplier. How much time you think you need to spend farming Vault Event to fill your mailbox with pity keys? It's impossible. Because the mailbox can hold 50. And you'd have to farm for more than 3 days to have 50 pity keys. Like, I'm not sure anyone's even exceeding 20 pity keys. And you would need 50 pity keys to fill your whole mailbox with pity keys. Like, we normally go for about 8. Or I normally go for about 8. The average person probably goes for, I feel, about the same. Give or take a few. But some people go for, like, around 20 or so. I'm not sure many people are exceeding much further than 20. And if you spent every second of the Vault events, I think you wouldn't even be able to get to, like 25 or 30. Even if someone spent every possible second of the weekends farming it. Because, of course, as you keep going deeper, it keeps requiring more and more gnome kills. Like, we're already at the point where we need 20 gnomes for the next key. And then it'll be 25, then 30, and it just keeps going up. Oh, so hello! Sick, welcome. And from Russia, welcome. Yeah, we got people from all over. It's always fun looking at the statistics and just seeing like every single country. It's normally only 1% from a lot of the other countries, but still adds up. Last I recall, the United States was definitely the highest, obviously, because that's where we reside. But I think UK and Canada were the next 2 highest. Oddly enough, even though this game is an Australian company, I think Australia is like 7th or 8th for the amount of people who watch this who are from Australia. Even though the game is made by Australian developers with above average Australian player base compared to a normal game. Not like exceedingly high, but you know, compared to like the average game, this one has a slightly higher Australian population compared to just any other random game. I think the biggest issue is because of the time zones. We stream at really weird times for Australia time zone. Oh, so hello, Interception. Welcome. If anyone has any other questions, anything you want me to go over, do let me know. It's really easy to do so during Vault events. So looks like we might gain a second level after all. Jay might just get it tonight. I'm starting to get a little hungry. I'll go for about another 10 minutes or so. Ideally, I want to try getting one more key. However, if I say that, it could take like an hour or two to get that single key. Can really troll you sometimes. It's when you really want the key, when it really just is never going to give it to you. On average, it does take about an hour per key. Though on the luckier side, you can get like 2 or 3 per hour. Which is about where we're at now, about 2 per hour. Well, given that we haven't gotten another one yet, if we don't get another one in the next several minutes, it won't be 2 per hour anymore. Not counting pity, of course. How close are we to next pity key? If we could ever find any gnomes. Oh yeah, I forgot. We can't check, can we? Oh, well, we already have 4. Let me go update the number. We're at 8 keys. 4 pity, 4 normal. Of course, the pities are about to slow down quite a bit, since we already got the first 4. That means the next one needs 25 in order for us to get it. And we can't see that number until the gnome goes away. In 3 minutes. At least that's pretty soon. Any fast food on the menu? No, I've been trying to stay away from fast food. We've been doing our slow fast food tour, but I've still been trying to stay away from it as much as I can. Though one thing that I was eyeing down, I'll be fully vaccinated next Wednesday. I might go see if we can get to the melting pots. I haven't been there for a year and a half now because pandemic. And I got really addicted to it like right before the pandemic. Then the pandemic hit and it's like, oh, well, I guess I can't go there anymore. Which was quite unfortunate. It seems like they raised their prices though. Probably because of the pandemic. So maybe I won't be going there. Actually, compared to my flight tickets, everything seems like so expensive relative to it. Because I was able to get a round trip for only $100. Which I think after tax and everything was a bit more than that. But it's basically $100 round trip. Yeah, flight prices are still down. Though they're probably about to spike up within the next month or two by like a ridiculous amount. But currently they're still down. So if you're planning on going anywhere this summer, get your tickets now. While they're still dirt cheap. Highly advised. Because they are about to get ultra expensive soon once everyone starts traveling again. Yes, if you keep playing for too long, the game will start to lag over time. The easiest way to fix this is just restart the game. Some teams do lag it more than others. This one actually doesn't lag it too much, luckily. But the game does tend to lag the more you play it without restarting it. So just restarting it's normally the easiest way to do it, real quick. This one's not too bad for lagging the game, so normally I don't restart with it though. Exploding the Doom Skull does not count for the Uber Doom Skull achievement. You specifically have to manually take it with a swipe, or by using Azurus or some other convert to get skulls to attach to it. I heard some people on other platforms mentioning that they could explode it, but on PC I know for sure you can't. I'm not sure which ones are different. But exploding it or destroying it does not count. It specifically has to be either swiped or converted by skulls being next to it. Hey, 5,000 souls. I think that's our first 5,000 souls of the stream, which is pretty sad. Because normally expect to get like multiple of them per hour. I think that's the first one we've gotten 2.5 hours. Also, I'm pretty sure we haven't hit a single 1,000 glory unless I just didn't notice when we dropped it. Also, I think we can see our pity key number now. Oh, tribute's ready as well. Perfect timing. 20 tribute, nice. Yep, there it is. Oh, we still need 15. We still need a lot of them. Still need a lot until next key. Do gnomes show up in delves? No. Gnomes do not show up in delves. They do not show up in delves. They do not show up in pet events. They do not show up in... Which is why I skip a lot of the pets that we already have. Because you can't get gnomes during it. But yeah, they can't show up in delves. They can't show up in pet events. They won't show up in the world events. What else is going on where they wouldn't show up? They don't show up in dungeons. And they don't show up in... I think that's everything as far as what's currently going on. I mentioned dungeons. But yeah, the places where they do show up is PvP and Arena. Both of those locations also have pet gnome chance. Quest lines, if you haven't finished all the quest lines yet. Challenges, if you haven't finished all the challenges yet. Explore, which obviously is the main location. In both PvP and normal casual PvP. Which I think I mentioned, but it's also in casual PvP as well. And that's where you can farm them. Though normally Explore is the best option. And if you're lucky to do it in PvP, normally casual PvP at the lower battles are the best way to do that. You just got your first epic vault key. Congrats. Great drop to get. Yes, they do drop on Adventure Board, if I forgot to mention Adventure Board. Adventure Board does have the chance of dropping gnomes. Dungeons do not, but Adventure Boards do. Which is kind of weird that's that way. But it is the way it is. Because oddly enough, some of the Adventure Board battles are actually harder than dungeon battles. Yet the Adventure Board has gnomes, but the dungeons do not. Doesn't really make much sense. Seems like both of them should just have gnomes. Hey, you screenshotted it? Nice. Yeah, it's a great milestone to hit. The first epic vault key. Keep in mind, if you're playing on both PC and mobile, I believe you do need 2 epic vault keys in order to get both achievements. Because if I'm not mistaken, it only triggers the achievement for getting an epic vault key opened, specifically on the platform that you're playing when you open it. So I'm pretty sure you need to open 2 epic vault keys to get both of them if you care about the achievement on both. You have to do it specifically on PC and then also do it on mobile. You could farm both the keys on the same platform, but you'd have to open the other key on the other platform in order for it to trigger for both. I'm pretty sure most people don't care about getting achievements for both. Maybe one or the other. But for any of you that do care about both, you technically need 2 epic vault keys for the double achievement, since they trigger independently of each other based on what platform you're on. It's one of the few achievements that's like that. Most of them retroactively would update automatically. There's one of them that doesn't. If I'm not mistaken, 2 vaults in Treasure Hunt is also one of them that you have to manually do on both for it to trigger. Oh, you got it on console? Nice. We're about to hit the mythic battle. Fortunately, the loot's pretty bad for it. Theoretically, you could go to an Explore 12 to go take it for the better loot, but then you'd have to constantly keep doing it over and over and over again to get a bit tedious, so I just like grinding at one location. But theoretically, every single time your shards keep getting close to the high number, like it is right now, you could just go do an Explore 12. The only problem with doing that is you get so many shards from doing Explore 12 that you'd pretty much have to do that like every 4 or 5 cycles in order to be able to use those shards correctly. Or, you know, for the bigger chests, instead of wasting it for the smaller one. I don't really mind wasting it for the smaller ones, not that big a deal. Since the main thing we're farming, of course, is gnomes, not tokens. A few tokens are more so just a byproduct of what we're doing. Not what we're actually here for, obviously. We're here for class XP, and we're here for gnomes. I mean, not class XP, I mean hero XP. And also a bit of passive gold. It adds up. Farming while watching my stream. Nice. Wait. Mother of Darkness survives? Since when? Oh no. That's not too big a deal. But I thought she died to that. Maybe there's something else in the battle that made it not do that? Could have sworn she also dies to it. Apparently not. It's not too big a deal though. Wastes like no time to just take a little poke on it. And it's rare enough that it doesn't really come around, like barely ever. Maybe it was Wild Plains where it just was perfect for all of them. But we can't do it this week because they have 10% bonus, which makes their stats too high. So it's better just to do it in Cinema Mirage this time around. You barely ever fight the mythics anyway, so it's not too big a deal. We're gaining like 5 shards every single time. These we're only getting 3 to 6 shards each time. So very rarely do we fight the mythic. It's like 1 in every 21, 22 battles or so. Or 22 cycles, I mean. So very rarely do we ever even need to see the mythic. But I think we'll go until we find one more gnome. I'm gonna probably go grab dinner. But we'll be back in 5 hours to continue the grind tonight. At the same time we do every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have another code then as well. We'll also be handing out an extra code this weekend for whenever we get the first Epic Vault Key. Assuming we even get an Epic Vault Key. Which I hope we do. I put the 0 there in hopes we can make it a 1. But that'll be on top of our 1 code per stream as well. Which will make it a 2 code stream whenever we get it. What am I eating for dinner? I have not decided yet. I have not decided at all. Up 4 gem keys. Oh, there we go. That was the gnome. Wanted it there. It was a pretty good drop to end it on too. 4 gem keys. It's not a vault key, but it's his best drop that isn't a vault key, so I'll take it. That and 3 event keys. So personally, I prefer having 4 gem keys than 3 event keys, even though 3 event keys has a higher gem value. 4 gem keys are just more useful for me. So it works out. But anyways, hello Rogue. Goodbye Rogue. And goodbye everyone else. We'll be back in 5 hours from now. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time as always. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the gnome grind. Definitely a great time to be grinding this game out. Of course, we covered a video going over a bunch of farming teams. If you want any other suggestions for them. And aside from that, I'll be back tonight and go from there. Of course, every single night this weekend, we'll hopefully get a good amount of grind in. And hopefully get lucky with the gnomes. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.